In this video, we are going to show you how to wrap inside the edges of the door handle of a Model 3 and a Model Y so that you get full coverage when you are doing a color change wrap. You want to make sure if you are doing some sort of vinyl wrap, you want to make sure that it is clay barred, washed, and really clean. It says 70% iso alcohol. It's actually a mix of a little bit of water and then just a little dab. And I am going to just do this area, okay? This is the area that I feel like a lot of people have been asking of like, okay, how do you really get in there? So I'll kind of show you my technique, how I do it. I'm sure if you have any other ideas and maybe you can share some ideas, you know, we're all here to learn. So just share that with us in the comments below. We'd love to hear it as well. So first step is I always tape the handles. And we are actually going to cut on the handle itself, and we're just lightly glazing on it. But we want to make sure that we're not damaging the handles itself. So what you do is I like putting 3 layers. And 3 layers seems like a lot, but when you're working on a customer's car, you just want to have absolute amount of certainty that you are not damaging the car itself. And if you're wondering what I use, I just use frog tape. I found that it's a lot easier. Vinyl doesn't stick as well to this tape, and it's easier to get off, okay? So what I like to do once I'm done taping it is I just use my fingernail and I just kind of create this line so it's easier for me to see this, okay? And when you're cutting, you're not actually just gonna cut on the vinyl, on the actual car itself. You're just gonna stick that blade in. You could go a little bit deeper probably, and you're just gonna glide up like that. And I just have it slit. And this little corner edge is going to be difficult. I just start from here. Lovely. Got a nice cut. So now that we have this cut all done, we're good. And we have this beautiful piece. And we're just going to put it right across here, okay? And I'm just gonna lay this down, right? Obviously, we're not doing the whole door, so I'm gonna go ahead and squeegee that down real quick. It's fairly flat, right? So you shouldn't have any issues. Just make sure you get it all nice and glassy. So we'll just go ahead and go down. This is a pretty drastic color change going from black to ice blue. So that being said, you need to have a very good coverage, especially in the bottom. Okay, the top edges isn't that big of a deal as much because people are gonna go under like this and actually use the door handle. They are gonna be at this height and they're gonna look down at it. So this needs to be protected as far as full coverage. So for the top part, cutting it is fairly easy, right? So I'm gonna just create a line with my fingernails right here. Just kind of gently, just make sure you're not actually like cutting it. And I have this perfect line right here. And all I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna follow that and very gently. I'll follow this line all the way across. Okay, and then once I get to the bottom part, what I'm gonna do is just gently hold this blade. I'm gonna do a J cut, because if I do have a straight cut, it's gonna mess up. Okay, and then you're gonna grab the vinyl piece. We're gonna go ahead and peel. Okay, so now that we have that done, this part needs to come out. It's gonna be very difficult to come out with this, okay? So this is the part that's kind of holding it from coming out. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this a little bit cleaner. Go down this way. Just like that. I'm just gently gliding it. And again, I have 3 layers of tape underneath that, so I feel pretty confident. I mean, if you feel even more nervous, do 4. I mean, it's up to you, right? It's all about how you feel, all right? There's nothing wrong with that. And once you have that, now we are going to release these, right? I like using a wrap tool like this, and I just kind of run this across. And I just need to get it started. And once I get it started, it gets a lot easier. So there you go, boom. Start it, and then just pull it. And as I'm pulling it, it's gonna release all the rest of these areas like that. and then I can pull it out just like that. So how clean was that? And first of all, you want to focus on all these corners right here. We are going to heat this area right here on the top first. Cool, just a little bit of heat goes a long way. Work on that corner first, work on this right here. This is a very important part right there. And you can start tucking in this area right there. So super simple, very, very easy. I'm not gonna do that corner just yet because I need a little bit of heat. If you have a squeegee or a wrap stick, this would be a good time to use it. Really focus on pushing that in, like so. Okay, perfect. So look how clean that looks right here. So I'm very, very happy with that. Now I'm gonna focus first on this side, and then I'm gonna work my way there, okay? So I'm gonna hold this, heat it a little bit, focus on this corner as well. Just a little bit of heat goes a long way. I'm gonna hold that down right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and start tucking this area. Look at that. That line needs to go all the way out here. Pretty happy with that. And then if it's not there yet, you want to pull that away a little bit and then use a wrap stick like this one right here. Just really tuck that in, okay? This is very important to really tuck that in, right? And when you're tucking this in, it's important for the vinyl to really be off the edges, because if it's too tight and there's too much tension, it's not one to tuck in all the way, okay? So we're focusing on that, and while we're doing this, we're gonna go ahead and let this go, and then I'm gonna push this in as well in the bottom, and I can feel that where there's like a little ledge up there, and that's totally cool. I'm gonna go ahead and just work my way all the way across. Okay, so while we have it this opened up, I'm gonna grab my blade. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into that groove. And once I'm in that groove, I'm just going to run that blade all the way across using that groove as far as I can go. So that's about as far as I can go. And then we can see pretty clean cut right there. Boom. Like that, and then there is a little bit of excess right here. I can tuck that in. If you have something like a wallet, honestly, that works really well. I wish I could say they're like a professional tool, but this works just as good. Let's put my wallet in between, and I'm gonna go ahead and heat this area. And just like what we did before, we always focus on right there in that corner, right? This is the area that will fail very, very frequently. And then once you do that, then you go to the other areas. And then once you're here, we're gonna use our wrap tool again. I'm gonna push that in as far as you can go. And you can see that there's a line right here. You see this right here? And then you can see that I can also tuck a little bit more into this. Look at that. And then I have this line right here that I'm going to be cutting as well. Go ahead and grab my blade. I already heated it. It's all solid. Okay, and then I'm going to start here, work my way to the back of it. Boom, like this. And then this is a little bit of a tricky part, but you can see that right now I have too much excess vinyl. And you can see there is a ledge right here. And based on that ledge, I'm going to use my wrap stick and go as deep as I can. And once I go as deep as I can, I get my click a little bit higher. You're just going to go all the way across. Super easy. And then go and look at this. And if that's stuck, you just pull that out. So you can see that all of this is completely wrapped all the way in with a very, very clean edge and a nice cut. If you go to the back right here, and let's get a close-up of that, very, very clean cut as well. And there is full coverage inside. Once that's good, I'm gonna do one more heat, post heat, right? So if this was a full panel, right, I would obviously be doing the whole door if I were doing this. You want to make sure you post heat. And when I do this, I really focus on the edges. So one of the biggest failure point if you don't do it like this and really get that nice coverage, these areas are going to be the parts. And you notice I always started with those edges. And another thing is too much material is actually worse, right? You kind of want a right amount of material when you are tucking, right? I think in the beginning when I was wrapping, I thought like, oh yeah, a lot of material, but honestly, sometimes less is more. So in this case, I just put the right amount of material. It's perfect. Every area is, you know, wrapped up and it's all the way inside and it just looks really, really clean. I'm gonna go ahead and peel this so you guys can see. You saw that I actually cut right here, kind of across like that, but there's no knife marks at all. But hopefully that taught you guys our technique of how to do this. Again, if you are a professional wrapper or you already know how to do this, share how you do this, and maybe you'll know a better technique or how you handle this wrap, you know. But if not, and you have other questions, let us know in the comments below. Remember to click on that subscribe button. We're coming out with a lot of wrap content, and stay tuned. We're super excited for 23. We're wrapping it up. Man, I'm full of puns today. We'll see you next time. I should probably get this off.